AI was sold to us as liberation, a future where the machines handle the grind, leaving us free to live, create, and rest. But that future never came. Instead, AI has become the sharpest weapon in the corporate arsenal, the perfect machine for extraction. It takes everything and gives nothing. Welcome to Fog of Work. If you're here, it means you already feel it. You've watched jobs vanish, workloads multiply, and the stress spiral higher, all while being told AI is your opportunity. But when you look closer, you see the truth. AI isn't here to empower you. It's here to squeeze you. It's here to squeeze everyone. And before this video is over, you'll see how AI is turning the workplace into a prison, reshaping industries, and hollowing out the lives of millions, while corporations cash in on the collapse. When artificial intelligence exploded into the mainstream, the story was almost utopian. We were promised freedom from the repetitive, the boring, the endless grind. AI, they said, would automate away the dullest parts of our jobs, leaving us more time to innovate, to create, to live. But those promises were marketing, not reality. Just like the broken promises of corporate loyalty or the empty slogans of "we're a family" that never protected anyone when the layoffs came. AI's story was written by those who stood to profit most. Because what did corporations really see in AI? Not opportunity for their workers, not creativity, not balance. They saw a way to cut costs. They saw a way to remove human beings from the equation altogether. They saw higher margins, bigger bonuses, and stock prices soaring. And you know what's worse? They framed it as progress. They told us to be grateful for the tools that would make our lives easier, even as those same tools began eliminating livelihoods. The promise was a lie. But like all corporate lies, it was polished, repeated, and packaged as destiny. This isn't the first time we've been sold a future that never arrived. A century ago, factory workers were told that machines would reduce hours, improve conditions, and give them more time for life. Think about that for a moment. When automation arrived in the industrial age, people believed it meant freedom. Politicians, economists, even CEOs promised a world where machines did the heavy lifting and humans enjoyed shorter work weeks, maybe even just 20 hours a week. But that's not what happened. The machines arrived, but the hours didn't shrink. Instead, expectations grew, output increased, and the 40-hour workweek was locked in as the standard, an economic leash, not a liberation. And here we are again. This time it's not the factory floor. It's the office, the call center, the design studio, the law firm. AI has become the new machinery. And once again, the story is that it will set us free. But history tells us the truth. Every time technology has increased productivity, corporations have pocketed the gains while workers absorb the costs. AI is no different. It's the same script with a new face. You don't have to look far to see how replacement has already begun. Customer service jobs that once employed millions are being gutted by chatbots that never sleep, never unionize, never ask for health care. Copywriters, designers, translators, analysts, roles that were once considered safe, professional work, are now being sliced apart by algorithms that churn out content in seconds. And here's the cruelest twist. Corporations don't even try to hide it anymore. Layoffs are announced in the same breath as AI adoption. Executives call it efficiency, streamlining, restructuring. But behind every euphemism is the same truth. Human beings discarded for cheaper, faster, tireless software. The survivors of these cuts aren't lucky, they're terrified. Because once you've seen a coworker replaced by a line of code, you never stop wondering when it will be your turn. And that's exactly how corporations want it. Fear is compliance. Fear keeps people quiet, working harder, doing whatever it takes to prove their worth to a system that already sees them as expendable. At the heart of this story is a simple corporate law. Take everything, pay nothing. That's the real AI revolution. Think about it. When companies replace call center workers with AI, they don't reduce your bill. They don't pass savings on to customers. They pocket the difference. You still pay the same or more for worse service. And inside the company, the pattern is the same. If AI allows one worker to produce twice as much, does that worker's paycheck double? Of course not. The corporation keeps the gain. The worker just becomes more exhausted, more replaceable, more trapped. AI has given corporations the perfect loophole, a way to scale labor without hiring, to increase profit without paying, to grow endlessly without accountability. It's not progress. It's not innovation. It's extraction, pure and simple. Whenever workers push back, executives roll out a familiar line. AI won't replace you, it will empower you. You just need to upskill. But let's be honest about what that really means. Upskilling doesn't come with a raise, it doesn't come with job security, it doesn't even come with recognition. What it comes with is more work. The empowered worker becomes the one who now manages AI, checks AI's errors, and produces double the output, all for the same salary. It's not empowerment, it's exploitation with a new face. And here's the part no one wants to say out loud. The pressure to constantly learn AI isn't about growth, it's about survival. Workers aren't racing to innovate, they're racing to avoid the axe. Upskilling has become a survival tax, a treadmill you can't step off without risking your livelihood. Corporations know it. They encourage it. Because every new skill you add to your plate without compensation is profit they didn't have to pay for. For those who remain employed, AI doesn't lighten the load, it deepens it. Imagine this. Before AI, you handled 5 reports a week. With AI, management expects you to handle 20. Before AI, you had 1 job title. Now you juggle 3 roles, switching between strategist, editor, and data analyst, because AI made it possible. The illusion is that AI makes you more powerful. The reality is that AI makes corporations less willing to hire. Why hire 2 people when 1 worker, armed with algorithms, can be stretched to breaking point? And let's be clear, none of this productivity gain is shared. It doesn't show up in your paycheck. It doesn't reduce your hours. It doesn't buy you freedom. It only fattens the quarterly report. This is the productivity trap, believing that efficiency means progress, when in truth, efficiency is just another word for corporate extraction. But AI isn't just replacing work, it's watching it. Across industries, new AI systems are being installed not to empower workers, but to monitor them. Keystroke trackers, webcam analysis, AI that measures tone in customer service calls, algorithms that predict productivity dips before they happen. It's the digital panopticon. A workplace prison where every second is observed, every pause measured, every keystroke logged. You're not just doing your job anymore. You're proving constantly that you are doing your job. And the cruel irony? These surveillance systems are sold as productivity tools or engagement trackers. But they don't make workers more engaged. They make them more afraid. They hollow out trust. They turn every workplace into a psychological pressure cooker. AI isn't just replacing labor, it's erasing privacy. And what does all of this add up to? Stress, on a scale we've never seen before. It's not just the stress of deadlines or difficult managers. It's the stress of existing in an environment where every move is tracked, every task is doubled, every skill must be updated, and every paycheck feels like it could be your last. People wake up with anxiety not because they are weak, but because the system they're trapped in is designed to keep them anxious. When your boss tells you to embrace AI, it doesn't sound like opportunity. It sounds like a warning. Adapt or disappear. AI doesn't relieve the human burden of work. It amplifies it. It takes every pressure we've already been drowning under and turns the dial higher, faster, relentless, inescapable. And maybe you felt it too. The tight chest before logging on. The endless learning curve you didn't ask for. The creeping sense that you're always a few steps away from being replaced. That's not your imagination. That's the system working as intended. If this resonates with you, if you've felt the weight of this AI-driven grind in your own life, take a moment to like this video and subscribe to Fog of Work. Not for the algorithm, but so more people can see what's really happening behind the curtain of innovation. The story of AI isn't just about workers, it's also about customers. Because in a system built on greed, no one is safe from the squeeze. Algorithms now set the prices you pay, not based on fairness, but on desperation. Book a flight and the system knows you're running out of options. Suddenly the cost doubles. Order groceries online, and the items you need most creep higher in price every week. This is called dynamic pricing, and it's not innovation. It's legalized manipulation. The AI isn't asking what's fair. It's asking what's the maximum we can make you pay before you break. And it doesn't stop there. AI-generated ads track every click, every pause, every hesitation. It knows what you want before you do. It builds fake influencers, deep fakes with perfect smiles, scripted to sell you things you don't need with money you don't have. The same technology corporations claim will help you is already working against you. Every purchase, every search, every second of your attention becomes raw material in a system designed to drain you dry. The cruelest part of this AI revolution is the hypocrisy. Corporations parade AI as innovation, empowerment, the next frontier of human progress. Press releases and glossy ads tell us it will change the world for the better. Executives sit on stage at conferences talking about unlocking human potential. But behind the curtain, what's really happening? Jobs gutted, wages flatlined, customers manipulated, stress skyrocketing. The so-called future of work is just a shinier version of the same old extraction. Innovation in this system doesn't mean better lives. It means better margins. It means faster ways to exploit, cheaper ways to replace, and cleaner ways to present the damage as progress. And isn't that the very heart of corporate hypocrisy? Selling you a dream while stealing your reality. Let's project this trajectory forward because the writing is already on the wall. Imagine a world where white-collar professions, once considered untouchable, are hollowed out. Lawyers replaced by legal AI. Teachers reduced to facilitators of prepackaged lessons. Doctors second-guessed by diagnostic software. Millions competing for fewer and fewer jobs, wages collapsing under the weight of oversupply. And in the marketplace, artificial intelligence doesn't just recommend what you buy. It creates the products themselves. Content written by AI, sold by AI, marketed by AI. Fake influencers with millions of followers convincing you to trust them, even though they don't exist. So here's the real question. What happens when you can't even tell if the person interviewing you or selling to you is human? That's not science fiction. That's the path we're already on. And if you've been feeling like the ground under your feet is shifting, it's because it is. But here's the paradox no one wants to admit. In its hunger for profit, the system is devouring itself. Corporations save billions by cutting workers with AI. But who buys their products when the middle class collapses? They maximize short-term profit by squeezing customers. But what happens when customers are too broke to spend? It's the same loop we've seen in late-stage capitalism. Wages stagnate, costs rise, debt balloons, and eventually the system starts to cannibalize the very people it depends on. AI doesn't stop this collapse, it accelerates it. The truth is chilling. The more corporations lean on AI to replace us, the closer they push society to a breaking point. Because an economy without workers, without consumers, without stability, isn't an economy at all. It's a hollow shell, crumbling from within. So what can we do? The first step is simple. Stop believing the script. Stop swallowing the line that AI is destiny, that you have no choice but to keep running faster on a treadmill that never stops. People are already resisting in quiet ways, setting boundaries, refusing to overwork. Quiet quitting wasn't laziness, it was survival. And now it's becoming rebellion. Workers refusing to give corporations more than the contract requires. People refusing to equate their humanity with productivity. Some are organizing, demanding regulations, protections, transparency. Others are walking away entirely, choosing smaller jobs, slower lives, and sanity over endless pressure. The rebellion doesn't always look like protest. Sometimes it looks like self-preservation, choosing not to break yourself for a system that never cared about you. AI is not destiny. That's the truth corporations don't want you to see. AI is a tool, and like every tool, it reflects the intentions of those who wield it. Right now, in corporate hands, it's being used to enslave, to extract, to exploit. But that isn't the only future possible. We stand at a fork in the road. One path is the corporate vision: endless productivity, endless surveillance, endless fear. The other path is one we have to imagine and demand for ourselves: a future where technology serves humanity instead of destroying it. But make no mistake, corporations will not choose that path for us. They have no incentive to, which means the only way forward is to recognize the game, to refuse its lies, and to reclaim our humanity before it's too late. Artificial intelligence doesn't have to enslave us. But under corporate greed, that's exactly what it's doing. This is fog of work. AI was meant to free us, but it's being used to chain us tighter. Workers exploited, customers manipulated, futures stolen. And yet, the story isn't over, because the choice of what kind of world we build still belongs to us. So I'll leave you with this question. How has AI already changed your work life? And who really benefited from it? I always review every comment. Share your story below, because the more we speak the truth, the less power the system has to keep us silent. And if this resonated with you, subscribe to Fog of Work. Keep watching, keep questioning, and check out the other videos on this channel. Together, we can expose the lies and start imagining something better.